Yo, what's up guys? Alex here again from Elite Football Conditioning. In this video today, I'm going to kind of, again, run on from the video I did last week, which was, please don't take this in the way of it bashing bodybuilding. So bodybuilding is a very useful training technique that does have its place in a training program. It's just that all too often we've got guys who are, and guys and gals, everybody who trains and plays sport, quite frankly, just trains like a bodybuilder and then just runs out onto the pitch expecting to be able to perform. What I'm going to do in this video is actually take you through one particular exercise where, just to kind of highlight the differences between what I mean by utilizing a bodybuilding technique and where that might fit in one of our training programs, and then utilizing a more sport-specific technique, preferentially for football or something that involves sprinting, accelerating, decelerating, and working at high force. And just to show you the differences between the way that those lifts look and how it fits into a program. So the exercise I'm going to be doing is going to be an RDL, or Romanian deadlift. So primarily used to develop the hamstrings, and obviously when we're sprinting, one of the key muscle groups that has to deal with a lot of tension, a lot of force, a lot of stress, and it has to do it quickly, it has to do it at high speed. So let's have a little look. Number one, I'm going to take you through the bodybuilding technique first. So nothing changes with the actual movement. You're going to stand up tall with the bar, and then the main thing is the tempo, controlling down slowly. So you've got a really slow deceleration phase, and then a pause at the bottom, and then you're going to squeeze and stand up tall again. So the one thing that we generally don't get a chance for in football or in sport is when things happen on the field, they happen quickly, they happen at speed. So performing that hinge movement where the hamstrings are slowly lengthening, it doesn't happen. And quite frankly, like a lot of the time when hamstring injuries do occur, it's because we overstride or we plant out in front, and the force that goes through the muscle is too much for us to cope with, and that's what causes the damage. So if we can be stronger, it's going to give us more chance to actually absorb that force. But one of the really good techniques for actually helping us prevent those kind of injuries in the first place are by training those hamstrings to work at speed and deal with that force at speed. So during a season training program or in a sport-specific phase of the program, our RDLs might look something a little more like this. So again, we're going to use a weight that we can move quickly. We're going to focus on keeping our positions as we normally would and make sure we're maintaining our posture. And then it's going to be a fast drop and then a fast acceleration back out of the bottom. So forgive me while I don't talk through this. I'm going to try and focus. So it's a... Okay, so the hamstrings have to adapt to being able to catch that weight, slow that weight down quickly, and then accelerate through in the other direction. So there are two key differences, two very significant differences between the way that we might train for sport-specific purposes and more general bodybuilding, adding muscle mass with a bodybuilding technique. So there is a time and a place for it, but if you're training for sport specifics, you have to think about the speed of the movements and what's actually being required of not just individual muscles, individual muscle groups, but the system as a whole. So with that RDL movement, obviously it's a whole body movement. The upper back's involved, lower back, the core, glutes, all the way down through to the foot. So we want to make sure, you can't just go and do seated leg curls. That simply won't cut it. In a sport-specific phase of a training program, these are the kind of things that you need to be doing. So have a little think about those. I'll make sure I add a few more in for you over the next few weeks. Until I see you again, all the best. Get after it, and remember, take no days off.